All rise for support court with Judge Van der Bee. Judge, this is case number JVB1069, Franklin case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Ms. Franklin, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge Vonda. My son was killed 3 months ago. I have a granddaughter that's 9 years old. I've had custody of her since she was a baby. After his death and funeral, Kim decides she wants to come to my house and remove her. Brought the police to my house.
After the funeral?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. She did. She did that. As traumatic as it was for me and my family, she decided to remove Rakisha with the police, cause a scene, which she's done in the past. I'm here today for grandparents' rights. I've had my granddaughter since she was a baby. She doesn't even know who this lady is. She knows that she's her mother, but as far as knowing who she is, and with her lengthy past, when I say
when you say lengthy past, what do you mean by that?
Drugs, drinking, fighting, beating the system.
Beating the system?
Yes.
How did she do that?
Welfare, food stamps, housing, anything that's not legal, she's done.
But
this case starts with unimaginable heartbreak. Miss Franklin's son was murdered just 3 months ago. While she grieves, she's suddenly forced into a legal battle over custody of her granddaughter, a child she's raised since infancy. And just days after laying her son to rest, the child's biological mother, Kim, arrives with police in tow to take the child away. Can you imagine that level of audacity? Who shows up with law enforcement right after a funeral to claim a child? They abandoned? The emotional trauma here is overwhelming. Miss Franklin isn't just grieving, and she's also angry. She describes Kim's past filled with drugs, alcohol, and what she boldly calls beating the system through welfare fraud. Her claim is that both her late son and Kim exploited their daughter for benefits. That's a heavy accusation. But what strikes even deeper is this. Miss Franklin says the child doesn't even know her biological mother. Let that sink in. Imagine being raised by someone your entire life, only for a stranger to show up demanding custody. Who do you think is in the right here?
Rakisha, I said her name right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, she lives with you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And prior to your son's death, did your son live with you too, or was Rakisha just living with you?
Only Rakisha, absolutely not. He could not live with me.
Okay, I understand.
But
so how was she getting benefits if her daughter lived with you?
Because as I mentioned earlier, both of them love to beat the system, and they used my grandchild against me and my husband, just so that they can continue to beat the system. I did put my son on child support.
Okay.
That I absolutely did.
And now you're wanting child support from mom?
I want child support and full custody of my granddaughter.
Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
Oh, absolutely, yes. When she brought the police to my house, she told them that I threatened her, and she threatened me. She threatened to kill me. I said, absolutely not, Your Honor. What I told her when she called, I said, you know what? If you come over here, I'm not gonna be in control. Smith and Weston gonna be in control.
Oh, okay. Well, it didn't get that far, did it?
Well, it didn't, because the police drug her from my front yard.
Oh, okay. And I'm sorry for your loss as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, is there anything else you need me to know before I move over to her?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I didn't catch your last name. I just heard your first name is Kim.
That's what I want to say. I'm a fan. It's Kim Bourgeois.
Bourgeois?
Yes.
How do you spell it?
B-O-U-D-U-R-E.
Oh, okay, is that French?
Yes.
Okay. Well, can I call you Lady B?
Yes,
I
or
think
you can
I'll
call me
butcher.
Kim. You can call me
Kim?
Miss
Okay.
Kim.
I think I'll butcher that last name too much.
Okay.
Okay, so is all of what she's saying true? You had a history with drugs, drinking. She said you're cheating the system, getting welfare. What it sounds like is that
What really stands out is the raw truth behind Miss Franklin's protective instincts. She even admits to warning Kim not to come over, saying she wouldn't be in control if she did. That's a chilling moment that shows just how intense and emotionally charged the situation is. Luckily, it didn't escalate to violence, but Kim accused Miss Franklin of threatening her life, adding even more legal weight to this already complex family drama. And despite the chaos, Miss Franklin remains focused. All she wants is full custody and child support to continue caring for the granddaughter she loves. Then comes Kim's turn. And let's be honest, her response feels like a dodge. When Xiao asked directly if the accusations are true, she admits that some of the drug use with her ex was real, but tries to minimize the rest. It's the past, she says. But that past matters when we're talking about a child's stability. She admits to trying to take her daughter with the police present and insists it's now time for her to be a mother. But where was that urgency for the past 9 years? Can someone really just walk back into a child's life and say, "I'm ready now"?
that your daughter has been living with her this entire time. So, I mean, is what she's saying true?
The whole thing is, it's the past, you know.
So it is true. The answer is yes.
Some of it is, yeah.
Okay, which part of it is true?
As far as maybe some of the illegal drug activity that her son and I both partake in, you know, some of that is true, but as far as the food stamps and all that, it's not. She's just going by hearsay, by what people are telling her, just using that, you know, in this case. As I stated, as she stated, as far as coming to get my kids, you know, with the police and stuff, that's true.
Okay.
Because I need Rakisha, to come and be with her mom. You know, she's getting older, and so is she, you know. So
that wasn't nice. She's been taking care of your daughter. So what difference would it make if she's getting older?
She has been, again, all of these words are past tense. It's 2022, and it's time for my daughter to come home with me.
But she hasn't lived with you.
She hasn't, because I was working on my career and getting myself together, you know, so I can be the mom that I need to be. And, you know, I've done that. And unfortunately, you know, Ricky passed, you know, rest his soul. And it's time for my daughter to come home with her mother.
Okay.
I'm not the woman that I used to be, Your Honor.
All right. But you are still the woman she doesn't know, your daughter, right?
Well, actually, and she doesn't know that, I've been talking to Rakisha for about 4 or 5 months now.
Talking to her about what?
Talking to her, letting her know, you know, first of all, reaching out, letting her know that it's unfortunate that our dad passed, and letting her know that I want us to get our relationship together. I want to be the nurturing mother that, you know, that she needs.
Okay, so as of right now, you're a stranger, right?
I wouldn't necessarily say strangers.
Well, it's not necessarily what you want to say, it's what the facts say. You're a stranger to this child.
Kim argues that she's been working on herself, that she now has a stable job, is financially secure, and wants to be the mother her child needs. But here's the contradiction. She says she wants to nurture her daughter, yet she hasn't provided any financial or emotional support for years. The court and the viewers are left wondering, is this about love or control? Judge Vonderby cuts straight to the core. "You're a stranger," she tells Kim bluntly. And she's right. No matter how much Kim wants to rewrite history, the child has no relationship with her. Kim tries to argue semantics, saying she's been talking to her daughter for months. But let's be clear. Phone calls don't make you a mother. Presence, protection, and sacrifice do. And those are things Miss Franklin has given for nearly a decade. Can you blame her for fighting to keep custody?
That you came and
I
attempted to remove from her caretaker, right?
She's been taking care of her, yes, and I commend her for that. But my daughter needs to be with her mother.
All right, but you do understand that your daughter needs to be in an environment that's stable, where she is familiar with the person that is taking care of her.
Okay, she has to get familiar with her. I am working. I, make good money. I've been paying insurance, so it's not like I've been totally out the picture.
Let's talk about that. How much money do you make?
About $70,000.
$70,000. How much? You say insurance as well?
Yes, I pay $170 a month.
All right. How much of that have you given to grandmother? And it's not a hard question if you've actually done anything. I mean,
well, I can say none then. Let's just, be done with it. None.
So you make all of this money and you haven't given grandmother anything for your daughter?
Well, her dad has been taking care of the child support and everything up until this
right,
point.
Right, but what were you doing?
I was paying insurance.
Okay. So you were paying the insurance.
Yeah.
Your daughter living with someone else.
Well, she the one wanted to raise her.
But ma'am, it is your daughter.
It's my daughter. I paid the insurance. She wanted a raise, but the dad did the child support. We all just did our part.
You obviously came here to waste my time.
Not really. I mean,
it sounds like it. It sounds like you're trying to evade.
Even when the judge questions Kim's financial claims, things unravel quickly. Kim says she earns $70,000 a year and pays for insurance, but she's never given a dime to the grandmother who's been raising her child, not $1. The judge doesn't let that slide, and honestly, neither should we. When pressed, Kim falls back on an excuse that her daughter's father was handling the child support. But what about her role? It's clear she came to court unprepared, and Judge Vonderby sees right through it. Her vague answers and deflections suggest that this appearance might be more about avoiding legal obligations than genuinely stepping up as a parent. Viewers, do you believe people like Kim deserve a second chance? Or should the child stay where she's loved and stable?
The obligation of paying child support or paying any type of financial support for this child because you want to do what you want to do. Insurance is not sufficient, ma'am. Grandmother can pay insurance if she needed to,
but she hasn't.
Well, she can't do it without a modification to your court order. That's the reason she's here.
Okay, so can my daughter go home with me?
No, she cannot. She is going to stay and remain with the person who's always taking care of her. You haven't said anything different to support that grandmother has not been doing the job you should have been doing. So what we're going to do is based on your own testimony, and I believe you told the truth.
I did.
$70,000 a year, and that's giving you credit with the $170 health insurance. Your gross is
Let's be real. This moment right here cuts deep. The judge isn't just laying down the law, she's calling out a painful truth. This mother tried to use insurance payments as a loophole to avoid full financial support for her child. But the court wasn't buying it. Insurance is not sufficient, ma'am. That line hit like a gavel to the heart. Then comes the moment no parent wants to hear. Can my daughter go home with me? No. That silence afterwards? That was the weight of years of absence crashing down. The judge doesn't mince words. Grandma has been doing the job you were supposed to do. That's not just legal responsibility, it's moral accountability. And then we get into the numbers. The judge starts calculating child support down to the cent, $70,000 a year. A solid income. But where's the financial involvement been? When someone makes that much but avoids supporting their own child, it raises serious red flags. Let's be honest. How many parents would fight this hard not to support their kid?
$5,663. That brings your net to $4,613. You have one child, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, 20% of that brings your monthly child support obligation to $923. And as I stated, you are still to maintain the health insurance.
That's over $1,000.
And no, it's not. It's under $1,000.
So 9 something plus the 170?
No, you got credit. The 170 was given in your gross, so you got credit for that. $923 a month. It's what's fair. It's what's in the best interest of your daughter. Your daughter is going to remain with her grandmother.
Okay, so. Okay.
Anything else? You had a question?
I'm just gonna keep it to myself.
Oh, okay. You might want to do that, especially if it was something inappropriate. All right. Anything further pertaining to this case?
That's it, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further, Miss Franklin?
Yes, Your Honor. This lady just sit here and perjured the court. She has 3 other children that lives with 3 other different daddies.
Oh, wow.
And you know, she had more miles on her than Route 1604.
Okay. Well, Miss Franklin, hold on one second. Do you have other children?
Yes.
So why didn't you say that?
Because, you know, unfortunately, like Rakisha, they live with their dads and their other parent, you know, other side of the family. So.
Are you paying child support for them as well?
The final number, $923 month. That's what it takes to provide for this little girl. And yet, even here, the mother tries to argue. She brings up the insurance again. But the judge shuts it down. This isn't about loopholes. It's about what's fair and in the best interest of the child. That line should echo for anyone in a custody battle. Your daughter is going to remain with her grandmother. And just when you think it's over, the emotional undercurrent boils over. The mother asks a question, but then backs out. I'm just going to keep it to myself. The judge's reply. You might want to do that, especially if it was something inappropriate. That's the sound of restraint cracking, emotions bubbling up under pressure. Then Ms. Franklin drops a bombshell. This isn't just about one child. She has 3 other children with 3 different fathers. That's not just a character dig, it's a direct attack on the mother's credibility and parenting pattern. Suddenly, the case takes a dramatic turn. What's even more shocking, the mother admits those children live with other families. And no, she's not paying child support for any of them. She tries to claim she pays insurance, but beyond that, nothing. This isn't just one neglected obligation. It's a pattern, a trail of emotional and financial abandonment. Is insurance really enough in this situation, or is this just another excuse?
Well,
No.
no. Oh, okay. So you're just not doing anything.
I'm paying insurance for them too.
Oh, right. So beyond insurance, you haven't done anything for them. Is that what I'm hearing? How many other children do you have?
3.
So you have 3 other children. We have to manipulate your child support amount.
So it should be lower.
Let's see. Let's see how much lower it'll be. All right. Your child support is lower. It went to $680.
Should have kept your mouth shut.
No, you know, first of all, that was rude. Secondly, she's being honest. You are not being honest. But that's okay. You don't have to be honest with me because you know what? One day you're going to have to answer to each of your children. And that is going to be your battle to fight with them.
Well, at least they'll know I took care of them by paying their insurance.
Oh, okay. And they'll also know you're a stranger. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Then comes the unintended consequence. By admitting to other children, her payment goes down. From $923 to $680 month. And Ms. Franklin wastes no time throwing shade. Should have kept your mouth shut. That might have been a mic drop moment in the courtroom, but the judge doesn't let it slide. She calls it rude and flips the perspective. She's being honest. You are not. The judge delivers the final gut punch. One day, you're going to have to answer to each of your children. That's not a legal consequence, that's a spiritual one. A future reckoning no court can save her from. This isn't just about the law, it's about legacy. What will your children remember? Your excuses or your effort? In the end, the courtroom falls silent as the case wraps up. The ruling is clear. $680 month in support, health insurance maintained, and custody remains with the grandmother. But the emotional fallout, that's still echoing. This case wasn't just about money. It was about patterns, truth, and broken bonds.